New tonight at 9, the mother of a 15-year-old boy who shot and killed his father is speaking out to Fox 10 News.
Yesterday, Warren Williams pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and was sentenced to more than 20 years behind bars, as well as another 15 years of probation after his release. His mother says it's just another example of a failing juvenile justice system.
Fox 10 News reporter Russell Colburn brings you the story.
Monday brought with it more disappointment for Ann Williams. On the day she and her husband Bill would have celebrated his 57th birthday, she instead watched in a courtroom as her son stood before a judge accepting second-degree murder charges. Charges which will send him away for more than 20 years for shooting his father to death last March.
I've never faulted him. I've never been upset with him. And that's part of the reasoning of a parent versus a child. You understand that children are not fully developed. My husband loved my son with all of his heart and would have done anything for him. I feel the same way.
The alternative to the plea was face charges in the first degree, which would have carried a mandatory life sentence for Warren if found guilty. Despite the risk, Ann believes her son might have had a better outcome.
If people understood this entire story, I believe, and I think many, many others believe, that he might have walked away.
Ann says to really understand this situation, you have to go back 8 years when Warren was a first grader. His brother and best friend Sawyer committed suicide at the age of 12. Ann says since the death, Warren hasn't been the same.
He loved his brother. That was who he was with side by side for 7 years of his life. And then something as traumatic as this happens, for people not to think that this changes your life forever, they're just wrong.
So Ann believes the solution for her son lies in getting him the psychological help he needs.
How anyone can think that sending this little boy off to prison for 20.5 years, where we know he will probably not get any kind of mental health assistance, absolutely makes no sense.
But to Ann, the problem goes much further than her son's case.
Florida has more children who have been taken from the juvenile system and transferred to the adult system than any other state in the United States. That is not something that should remain.
She thinks that instead of being locked away with adults, mental rehabilitation for these children should be taking place and could get these kids' lives back on track.
My focus right now is the living child that I have remaining, and he is worth fighting for. I will fight for him until I die.
And only time will tell if what has become her life mission succeeds. Reporting in Pensacola, Russell Colburn, Fox 10 News.
This isn't the first time Ann Williams has gone up against the juvie system, fearing for her son's continuing education while in prison. A family member told Fox 10 News had Ann gather supporters, including the Escambia County Jail commander. She started a Florida virtual school there, and now inmates in the county's juvie system are required to complete the online school.